Hello golfers, Jess Frank coming to you from the Jess Frank Golf Academy here at the beautiful Deer Creek Golf Club in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Today I want to talk to you about the secret to how the greatest players in the world hit the ball so solid and strike the ball and hit the ball far, and they launch the ball high. And it's something that I see a lot from my students compared to the best players in the world. And what I talk about in my videos, and when I talk about the P1 to P10 video, it's the P6 movement that allows you to hit the ball really solid. So I'm going to show you what most golfers that I see, what happens is that on their downswing, what happens is that they're creating what's called a wide arc on their downswing. I know so a lot of people say casting. I like to call it a wide arc. So when they get to where the club is parallel to the ground, they have a large space between the butt of the club and their right hip. So they're creating this wide arc, and then they're releasing the club too early, and a lot of times it comes through where now you have the butt of the club, the grip end of the club on their right leg, and it's that scooping motion, and the arms are bending, and that's where you hit behind it, you get it off the toe. You're definitely not swinging on an arc. Okay, that becomes a very straight line swing. So as I do that, you can see how I'm swinging very straight down the target line, which is, of course, we know we don't want that. We want an arc swing. We want to swing around our body. And so what that also does is that will open the club face too. That can open the club face and create a path that's more to the left. So you hit a slice, or you lose a tremendous amount of distance, because when you're getting this wide arc, you lose the angle of the club, and then you're adding loft. Okay, you keep adding loft, so you're not compressing the golf ball, you're not forward leaning the shaft. So okay, so what do the best players in the world, what do they do? How do they get it to that point? And what do they focus on? Okay, so what I see a lot of players doing is that there's a huge gap right here. This is something that I would say, a huge percentage of my lessons that come to me, they do this, and I see it throughout the amateur world. And what do the pros do? So the pros, when they come down, as they're coming down at P6, their hands are in front of their thigh. Okay, you can see this right here. Their hands are in front of the thigh. So this is not the only movement. However, if a lot of you would practice moving the arms down in front of the right thigh, so you can see this right here, is that if I can get my hands in front of my right thigh, instead of being back here, which I see a lot of people do, okay, so this is a huge difference. What happens is that now you are in a position to release the club, or get the club, what I like to call is into an inline position here with the shaft lean, and also you're lining up the club with the left shoulder, which is the center of your swing, down the club to the club head. Okay, and from here, what happens is that now, from this point to the inline position, you're going to a straight line position here at just past impact, so P7.5. So P7.5, the butt of the club is actually pointing just to the left side of your belly button here. So what happens, I'll show you down the line here into the camera. So the club, there's your hands at P6 in front of your right leg. There's your inline position, and there is the club pointing just to the left side of your belly button. So this is extremely important for you to know and to hit good shots. And so a lot of people would benefit from just doing that little rehearsal motion of going from P6, okay, just setting the hands at P6, and then moving. What you're doing is you're allowing the club head to reach the inline position, the left shoulder, arm, hand, wrist, club, shaft, and club head, inline position. Okay, so you can see there's the shaft lean over the left leg. Then from here, you're going to allow that club head to travel back out in front of you, which is only about, let's say from the inline position, only about a foot to 12 to 18 inches in front. And so that's where the greatest players, that's where the best players in the world, that's what they do. That's how they compress the ball. That's how they hit it so far. It's a technique that is super important. And like I said, so many golfers struggle with this. And they all, you know, I had a lesson the other day. The guy thinks he's picking up his head. He's like, I'm topping the ball, I'm picking up my head. And what happens when you get this wide arc and you have the distance from the butt of the club to the right leg, what do you think you're doing? You're actually swinging up on the ball. So your bottom of the swing is occurring way behind the ball, back here, back behind your right foot, and you're actually swinging up on the ball. So you're not lifting your head. In fact, I put video on everyone. I put a circle around the head. They're topping the ball. They're not popping up out of their posture. And the circle, you know, they're not coming out of that circle. They're staying in the circle. In fact, some of them go down. So a lot of golfers will do this and go down and then hit the ball fat or hit the ground before the ball. So this is something that a lot of people get confused about, and the dynamics and the dynamic fundamentals of what we talk about is that's how you're transferring the momentum to the club head. So basically, as you're coming down, you have from the ground up. So you're going with the feet, the knees, the hips, then the hands and arms, and you can see where my left arm is not stuck behind me, right in front of my hands are right in front of my right thigh. From here now, I have to get this club head to get in line. So you can see this now. Now, the club head and the shaft is pointing just inside, just on the left side of my belly button here. As I go through the ball, the shaft is pointed just on the left side of my belly button. Okay, so that's really the essence and the shot, the solid contact that you see, and you hear that sound. If you've ever been to a PGA Tour event and you hear that explosion off the club face, that's how they're doing it. The PGA Tour players are not wide arcing and swinging up. They're doing the narrow arc on the way down. Okay, the narrow arc on the way down, not the wide arc, narrow arc. And then they're putting that golf club in line with their center of their swing, which is the left shoulder, which is down here. So now they get that club in line, and now they're able to take effortless power and apply it to the back of the golf ball and hit the ball really far. Okay, so this is a fundamental of from P6, okay, to P7.5 past the ball. Now you're in an inline position, and then your arms are straightened out. So you're transferring the momentum, what's called angular momentum, from the hands to the shaft to the club head. So that's angular momentum that you're transferring out to the club head, transferring power out to the club head. And that's where you're able to hit the ball really solid. So I didn't swing very hard right there, but I was able to hit a 7-iron, you know, close to 140 yards without swinging very hard. So that's something that you know that we're going to be able to do. So I'm going to take you down the line here so you can see this. Okay. So now you can see it from down the line. So again, we're going to transfer momentum from the hands back into P6 with the club head in front, or the hands in front of the thigh. We're going to create the inline position, which is just in front of just under my left leg, or as I like to say, the center of the swing is the left shoulder. And then from here, the club goes past, so you're letting the club head pass your hands, but the butt of the club and the shaft are still pointed to my left left side of my belly button here. So as I go through, hands in line. So I'm not dragging my hands through the hit so that club head stays behind, which I know a lot of you are trying to add lag, which is the wrong thing to do. Don't do this. This is bad for your game. You want to be able to get the club, transfer the momentum from the hands to the shaft to the club head in line, and then you can see where this club head goes here. So you're not holding on. You never want to hold on with the golf swing. And I'll go ahead and hit another one here. So I'm transferring momentum from my shoulder to my arm to my hand to my club head, and I'm getting that inline position. And I can really hit a solid golf shot right there. Again, that went probably 140, 150 yards. Didn't swing very hard, but I hit it solid because I'm using the proper fundamentals that are going to help you hit the ball really solid, really high, really far, and you're going to hit it out of the center of the club face. So I know a lot of you struggle with this. This is something that golfers, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. People wide arc, the hands are back here, early release, okay, scoop. So you probably see that on your video a lot. So this is something that can really help you. So if you really like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Please share this out with your friends. Anybody who's, struggling with their game, this is probably a big part of why they're struggling. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you liked about this video, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.